If you're telling me and you're looking me in the eye, I will back you until the end of time. But do not make me look like a fool. Don't.
I hear you.
Hey guys, we're back with episodes 4 through 7 of the Ultimatum.
That's right. And it does not fail to bring the drama.
It's getting spicy.
Heck yeah, it is, man.
Spicy. Yeah.
So the new couples are settling in.
Yeah, pretty
Settling?
Settling.
damn. A couple of them are settling pretty damn quick.
Yeah.
Well, AJ and Marie have a pretty good dinner there, you know?
Yeah, it was cool.
Until she sneaks out with Britany.
Yeah. Wow.
Now, this part, I felt really, really bad for Marita, man. I was like, what's going on here, But, then, it switched pretty quick, because then all of a sudden that relationship went great again. And I was like, oh, okay, it was just kind of a little bump in the beginning for those two.
Marita?
Yeah.
Yeah, Marita and Britany. Yeah.
Yeah, but Marie and AJ were really hitting it off, and then she sneaks off, and then that really sours that relationship.
Oh, big time,
Yeah.
yeah. Marie's like, I can't trust her.
Yeah.
Because
So
she
you
did
feel
it
bad
twice.
for
I feel
Marita,
like a
but you didn't
fool.
feel bad for Marie?
Yeah, man, I can't. No, here's why I didn't feel bad for Marie. Because freaking, what's her name? Bridget spelled it out at the choice for everybody to see, and Marie's like, nope, I'm gonna pick her anyway. So, Marie, you made your bet on that one.
But is sneaking off that bad? Because they make it seem like they just had conversations, and the way Britany tells it is kind of like closure. But AJ doesn't seem to relay it like that.
Well, is it bad? Yes, because you agreed to come on the show and do this thing. So, and they did it twice. It wasn't just once. And it was good that AJ came out and told Marie, look, we have met her up with her twice.
Yeah.
But it's done now, and you and I got to move forward with our thing now. So at least AJ came out and was honest about it and said, look, this.
What I didn't like is Marie in that moment, seemed to accept it. She didn't like it, but she accepted it. She understood it. It is hard. You say you break up, but you're not really breaking up with your partner, you know what I mean? And yesterday, you're in love with your partner, you want to marry your partner, and now all of a sudden you're.
Well, no, they didn't want to marry their partner. That's why they're not here. That's why they're here.
One half of them is like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're in a committed relationship yesterday, and so it is. I get it. It can get a little messy. She seemed understanding in the moment, but then she kind of held it against her.
But I'll tell you though,
so she didn't really accept it the way she said she did.
Well, no, because. And I don't blame her for that, but again, I don't care because she knew what she was doing when she picked AJ. Everything got called out with her, so that's on Marie. That's her problem.
Yeah, I wish I kind of saw more of this because I feel like AJ could have explained it away and say, "Look, Britany was going through it. I needed to be there for her.
Yeah.
I'm still in this with you."
Yeah.
But it's just like the tone of their relationship completely changed after that.
Well, Marie shut down. And she said that. She said she closed off and shut down to everything.
Well, she said she feel like a fool, and she says that many times over these next few episodes.
Oh, yeah. But, Marita, she handled it like a champ, man. Marita's gotten so many brownie points of me through this last episodes, the 4 through 7 here, that I was like, man, Marita's just been really, really cool, I think.
Yeah, and in that first scene when I saw Marita and Ashley together, I was like, oh, I don't like the way Marita is cold to Ashley. And now it's after watching all 7 episodes, I have a completely different view of Marita for sure.
Yeah. And Maria's still going through it though. She probably gets it the most out of this, I think, because she's being lied to and everything else. So
no doubt.
And she can't connect with AJ anymore. So and she tells the story about her mom and all this kind of stuff. So
it becomes pretty relevant that she's got a lot of things to work through.
Yeah,
before
for sure.
she even needs to worry about being in a relationship. She's got some personal issues she's got to work through.
Yeah, but and she even said, look, and it's not like I went through it on my own. She was with her girlfriend, Mel, when it was all going down and stuff. But still, that's a lot of stuff to hold on to.
And that can be a hard thing to let go if they're trauma bonded going through that. She's maybe realizing that maybe Mel's not the right person for her, but she's kind of bonded with her because she was with her during all that.
And here's the hard part about those two as well. They own a business together, right? So if they walk away from this together, that's It has to be a pain in the butt
And
trying
she
to
has said
sort all that
that
out.
many times.
Oh,
This
yeah.
isn't just the end of her relationship. It's the end of her job. It's the end of it's like
Her livelihood,
whole,
you know?
yeah, it's a whole shift change for her.
Yeah, and we flash over to her and Dayna, and they're getting pretty
Oh
close.
yeah, real quick, man. They're just like they're not even fooling around, man. They just jump right into it. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And we talked about it last time that those two we probably thought was going to happen, and you brought it up first, Ashley, and you weren't kidding, man. They just jumped right in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see them thinking about their previous partners at all.
No.
And they're just like, hey, let's get it on.
And I don't even know what the long-term goal is here. It's almost like they're just living in the moment, and that's it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
seems like it. It definitely
Yeah.
seems like it. Well, and then because throughout the process, like Dana's kind of wishy-washy about it. Like she's super into it one minute, and then the next minute she's like,
Yes.
"Oh, I'm still thinking about this and that," and it's
Yes.
like, dude, what the hell are you doing, man?
Mel's all
So,
into it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Mel's all into And this is the problem. Like, some people are going into this like, what can I get from this other person? What can they show me what I should be bringing to the table, what I'm not bringing to the table? Can they show me what could be brought to the table that I'm missing or something, basically bring some light to my relationship that maybe
We can grow from.
we can grow from.
Yeah.
Whereas these two seem to be like, can I explore this relationship? They
Yeah.
don't seem to be like comparing
No.
their behaviors and like how they can bring that back
No,
to
not at
make
all.
their
And
relationship better.
And these two, it just gets worse and worse, right? The shit they end up pulling, especially towards the end, is just crazy. I'm like, what on earth, man?
Yeah, and now Pilar kisses Kyle when she's not really ready for it.
Yeah, and they were out dancing, so I'm sure they were having drinks and stuff, probably little drinks involved and stuff. So I get it, and Pilar's kind of pulling in like, hey, you were kind of giving me mixed signals here, and she's like, well, I don't think I was giving you mixed signals, and they're kind of arguing about it, but I mean, I
that
get it.
goes back and forth in that
Yeah.
conversation.
Now-
like,
It's like
I
they're
don't know.
both
Yeah,
they're
right.
both kind of like taking ownership,
Yeah.
but blaming the other, then
Yeah.
taking
Yeah, exactly.
ownership.
Now, here's what I don't like about Pilar. Earlier on, like in episode 4, when they're starting to talk and stuff, like Pilar's, ask AJ or ask Kyle a question. Kyle's trying to answer, and Pilar just keeps cutting in.
Yes.
Like he's the one answering it for and cutting in. I'm like, dude, shut the hell up and let her talk.
yeah,
So
when they were
I didn't
at
like that
dinner
about Pilar. Yeah.
at the restaurant, she kept talking over her. Yeah.
I don't like how Pilar does that. It's like, shut your mouth and let freaking Kyle talk. So
I think Kyle is very slow in her responses, and Pilar's like, let me just talk for you.
Yeah,
Like
right,
I
exactly.
can't be patient
Yeah.
enough to wait for you to think of your answer. So
yeah, that's exactly what it seems like.
So is this kiss a huge deal or not?
yeah, it turns out to be. I think so.
yeah, I mean, yes.
They get past it though.
It's yes and no, right? I mean, yes at first because for both of them, they had the argument about it and everything, and then it seems like they do kind of get past it. But I mean, there's no going back to the way it was before the kiss happened, right? That's just not going to happen. So,
But it
Yeah.
does help, I guess. Kyle says it helps her figure out like how to resolve conflict better,
Right.
because in I guess previous relationships she's always just kind of avoided the
Mhm.
conversation,
Yeah,
and then we
I
just
thought
don't
she
talk
did a
about
good
it.
job of kind of calling her out on
Yeah.
it, but
yeah. Well, and the thing is too, Kyle's like, look, and Kyle made it sound like in the beginning I kind of explained to you my thing here. I'm just trying to get better for my girl. I'm not really
Yeah.
trying to do this with you. I just want to get better for my girl. So it took me by surprise when you kissed me and this and that.
Yeah.
So, I get it from her perspective, but at the same time, when you're in the moment, and things are connecting between two people, Pilar probably's like, oh, maybe we can do this,
And I think Pilar has some internal guilt because she keeps pointing out, Kyle keeps pointing out to her, like, why do you not feel so bad about this? Like, I'm feeling bad that I'm with you when, my other partner's out there. You're not
Right.
feeling about your other partner. And she keeps calling her out on it.
Oh, yeah.
Pilar's like, I mean, I do feel bad. She's like, you don't really act like you're feeling
I
bad
see it.
about
Right,
it. Pilar's like, yeah, I am, but I don't know.
But
yeah,
they did-
you could tell Kyle like considers her partner where, she's wondering whether Pilar is too, and it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But eventually they do kind of make it past it, and they get that kind of friendship back, and everything seems like it's okay for the most part.
Yeah.
And then we jump over to Megan and Haley, and they're slowly kind of building something
Yeah, they
here, I
are.
guess.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned it the last episode, and we were talking about how Megan brought up the whole sex thing, and we were like, we think she just brought it up, just kind of as a point, but not that she was actually wanting to get to that. And now we kind of find out, well, I guess she
Yeah,
was.
well,
wanting to get
Dayna and Mel were the first to kiss, but these guys eventually become so close they go all the
all
way.
out. Exactly.
Well, I think
Well,
And I was wondering, but
I think
it's
Mel
cleared
and-
up.
Mel and Dayna went all out as well before they did.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah.
I mean, it was definitely implied to us viewers
Yeah.
because they go behind the closed doors,
And then you hear one of
there's
them moaning like
a
crazy.
lot of sounds
Oh,
coming
you
from
hear
there.
her moaning like crazy, yeah. And in the thing, it even says Dayna moaning in the freaking closed captioning.
in the captions.
Yeah.
So either editing is lying to us about that,
Oh,
or
no. Mel and Dayna went to town several times, it seems like.
So it just seems, that Mel and Dayna aren't really owning up to it, whereas Magan and Haley are.
I don't know. We'll get into that dynamic. I mean, that dynamic is a little weird
crazy.
to me.
It is, yeah.
But Dayna kind of gets a reality check when they bring in like her family, because they're like, I like Magan, and it's like once her family's brought in, she flicks a switch and starts
Yes.
going back to Magan.
And then she goes
And
and
that
calls
was
Magan.
exactly the moment.
Yep.
I don't think she considered Magan or even thought about Magan at all until that point.
No, because at that point, she's already having sex with Mel. They're having a great time. She's like, oh, we're together all the time. I love it. This is awesome. And then once that conversation happens, man, it's like, poof, light bulb. And
It's like Magan. Okay.
yeah, exactly.
that girl.
Here's the thing, man. To me, Dayna seems like a very, very...
She's selfish, man.
she's selfish, number one, and number two, she's codependent on other people. That girl could not be alone, right? She has to have somebody with her, and she has to have somebody who's kind of with her in a sexual way as well, right? Who's into her that way and showing her that they're into her that way. So she's just one of those people who, it just seems like how her personality is. Right
She
now.
needs that
So,
reassurance.
exactly.
and that
Now
affirmation.
there's a pool scene, and supposedly Mel and what's her name?
Dayna.
Dayna. I keep wanting to say Dina or something.
Yeah,
Dayna ignore the others, and that really bothers a lot of people.
That's, I
Megan,
think,
yeah.
when
Bothered Megan
Megan
big time.
checked out.
It was.
I think that was the moment Megan checked out.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the moment Megan said, all right, cool. They're being that way, then I'm going to put my all into this other relationship. Exactly.
She couldn't believe that this person that she wanted to be with, that she had just begged to leave with her and not even go through this experiment, but then begged her to stay, couldn't even be bothered to say hello or acknowledge her existence.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah, and then she calls Megan, and the call doesn't go too well. And I was a little confused. I didn't have closed captions on, but I couldn't really tell who was saying what in that conversation.
Yeah, so I mean, that part of the conversation made it look like Megan was just being a complete asshole. But then later on, when you hear from the reverse role, what she was saying to Megan, that we didn't get to see in that part, because of editing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Seeing okay, now I can kind of see why Megan was being that way. But who knows? Who knows exactly how that whole conversation went down? Because editing is never going to show us the full thing, right? So.
And then we have the meetup with the givers and the receivers, I guess, of the ultimatum. So, and that was kind of cool how they separated them
cool.
like that. I thought,
Well,
because you don't want to pair up the same people over and over again.
You totally forgot about Ashley and Bridget.
No, yeah, good.
You never know you're going to talk about Ashley
They're
and Bridget.
boring. They got a boring thing going on.
I agree. It is pretty damn boring. They don't really have a whole
They
heck
don't
of
even
a
show
lot
them that much, to
No,
be
they
honest
don't.
with you.
because it's so boring. I mean,
I
They're
think
trying to do a little ghost scene or something like that.
Well, I
like-
think it's relevant to talk about them due to what happens later on.
Yeah, I mean, those two, number one, I mean, it's obvious they're not going to be a couple. They're not really into it like that. Like Josh said, they do the ghost scene with the ceramics. They're doing the pottery and stuff, and that was kind of cool, right? At least they connected a little bit there, but that's really the only connecting we've seen from those two at all.
But again, it's not always about connecting to try to be in a relationship with those people. It's about what can you learn from this other person. And Bridget's trying to...
It didn't seem like it with those two.
Because here's the problem: Ashley's not getting the learning or the training or whatever whatever you want to call it. She's not getting that education that she needs because the other girl's not trying to be like that anyway.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that's what's relevant about it is that Ashley is not a romantic person.
No,
She said
not at all.
said that it's been a problem in previous relationships. She's not that romantic gesture person, and it worked well with Bridget because
She needed.
Bridget didn't need that.
She needed Britany. She needed to be paired with Britany. Ashley.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so.
Because I think that would have been better for her. Because she's the one like getting flowers and all this other kind of stuff for Rita, and she's appreciative of that.
Yeah. Well, and we really didn't talk about Marita and Britany much, but those two, after that whole first day thing, man, they just connected really well. They bonded really well. And there is really just going to be more of a friends thing at the end. But those two together, I love seeing them both. 'Cause they're both sweethearts, and you could see why Marita was the way she was toward Ashley because Britany was giving her all that stuff, right? Brittany's being sweet with her, getting her flowers. They just get along really great. They just connect really well, man. It was really cool just to see those two in their relationship, even though it's not going to turn into anything. But it was still nice just to see how great they were together.
So then they have the meetup, and the meetup is kind of interesting too because you got people trying to peel off and have private conversations and stuff, and it looked like some people didn't, but they're like, all right, well, do you want to have one?
Right.
And then they'd go off,
Well,
but it didn't look like they kind of did.
There was that like public confrontation that was kind of getting ugly, and then Megan was like, I don't think this is the right, and then Mel's like, you want to go talk in private? And then Megan was kind of, and she's like, I want to go talk in private.
Right.
Like,
And she's
we're
like,
going to go
okay.
talk in
Oh, yeah.
private. And it's like, all right, let's do it.
Mm-hmm. And then they had their little conversation, and then Haley kind of gets in on it there.
Well, Dayna does bring up Megan's the conversation, and people
Yeah.
all interested in that.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and she has her version. Obviously, Megan's not really putting out there too much, but obviously she has her version.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Dana's trying to make her look bad in this scenario.
Oh, she was, yeah, no doubt
Yeah.
about it.
And then Haley's like, where she's saying that that's not the person she's known. That's what
Mm-hmm.
Dayna's saying. She's like, that is not the Megan that I've known. It's not a person that I've known in a relationship.
And she's like, she's not growing. She's getting the exact opposite of growing.
Yeah, she's regressing or
Yeah,
something like.
yeah,
And then
regressing, yeah.
Haley's like, "Well, I wasn't there for the conversation," and that's when Dana's like, "Oh, I don't believe that. I don't believe that because that was not the person." So I guess
Right,
she
yeah.
thought that Haley was coaching her through that conversation.
and then,
I don't know.
And then, of course, Haley's taking up for Megan here, which, rightfully so. But, yeah, it just got bad. And then, of
Well,
course,
and Haley has said that she will take up for her partner,
that's
even if
right.
she thinks
Exactly.
she's wrong. Because maybe she thinks Megan was wrong in that, but she's always
Yeah.
said she'll have her back anyway.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, another interesting side conversation was between Marie and Dayna, and Marie just kind of like, she's not really trusting her, and then she's like, "You got to give me the benefit of the doubt." Which I mean, you've had sex with her partner, but now you're asking for
lying
the
about
like
it. Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
lying
the
about it.
audacity of her to do all this, and it's just
Exactly.
like, what in the world? What is this
Yeah.
girl
I mean,
thinking?
she is flat out lying to her face, right? To the point where finally Marie's like, okay, I believe it now. And then it shows Marie the cutscene. Marie's like, I believe what she's saying here. And it's like,
Oh,
dude, you're
I
a
feel
fool.
so bad for Marie.
Like, you're a fool.
If I was Dayna in that moment, I would avoid having a one-on-one conversation with that
yeah.
person at all
Yeah.
costs.
And it's like, and here's the funny thing, right? It's like, what do you think when the show airs, they're not going to show all this stuff?
That's
it's like
the funny part. Like
yeah.
they're talking about receipts. I'm like, oh, the receipts are coming.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I
We
mean?
just
They're
saw
coming.
the receipts.
Yeah.
I mean, at
Yeah.
one point, Dana's like walking around naked, and they actually
Yeah, oh,
show
yeah.
it, and I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, she ripped her shirt off, went to the bathroom or the bedroom. And when she did, freaking Mel was like, "Oh yeah," she ran in after her.
Close the door right behind
I was like,
you.
"Oh man."
Yeah. So, and at this point, Haley wants to go talk to spill the tea on Dayna.
I don't know why
Oh, yeah.
Haley got involved in this.
I don't
I
either.
kind of wish she hadn't.
Yeah.
And I will say it did get misconstrued, and I don't feel like
I
that
don't
clarity
know.
got. She said she told Marie. She said, I feel like they are more romantically involved than they are letting on. That's the words she used.
And well, I think
when
she said, I got the
confronted-
proof,
she
too,
did say,
right?
but no, then she did say, "I have
have
receipts."
receipts.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't know
So
what receipts
I
she was
thought
talking about.
Marie understood it perfectly.
Yeah, I thought she did as well.
She said romantically involved. There
Yeah.
was no, but then that was never quoted from Marie to Mel. When it was confronted to Mel, it was like, she said, "You're like,
Right.
that is it."
Yeah. Yeah. And then, one of the things too, I mean, I don't know why Haley did it. And I do think part of the reason she did is because she really is into freaking Megan now, but, I mean, whatever. At the end of the day, I was just like,
I do feel like, she's trying to play nice, but also has her own interest.
agenda. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely what it felt like for sure.
Yeah, and I did like this next part where Marie confronts Mel in the car.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she's
Mel-
like, "Do not make me look like a fool."
Yeah.
This, that, and the
I
other.
can't believe Mel lied to her.
Mel didn't even talk. She just shook her head. She was like, no, like a 5-year-old, right? Like a 5-year-old getting scolded. No, I was like, good Lord, man, this woman.
But
I
she
can't believe
denies
Mel lied.
like getting intimate.
Yeah, lying to her
She
face,
admits
man.
to a kiss.
Yep, that's it.
That's what she admits to.
Oh yeah.
I can't believe she lied about it.
I don't know what I believe. I'm so.
Yeah, I mean, and as
Horrible.
hard as Maria was going there,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, Marie gave her every opportunity,
Yeah.
but just freaking tell me, dude.
Yeah.
Just open up, tell me right now. And nope.
she's like, "I
was
don't want to look
man.
stupid. Do not make me look stupid." later
And now,
on."
guess what? She looks damn stupid. So I was like, oh.
But do not make me look like a fucking fool. Don't.
I hear you.
Do not make me look like an idiot. Please.
Damn.
Maybe the moaning, maybe in her mind it wasn't sex. Maybe there was something that happened that caused the moaning, but it's like
Nah.
What's the
She was
Clinton-
naked running
what's
to a
the
room.
Clinton
Yeah,
exactly.
thing?
No,
Like, you know, it's like
no, that's
he did
BS.
not have sex with them.
No, they totally did.
Yeah, and then
I don't know. Maybe she's calling out on a technicality.
after all this,
But that's still more than a kiss, whatever that technicality was.
after all this, they decide to get matching tattoos to like
Oh,
top off
that
Oh,
the.
dude. Yeah, like the
The
nail,
journey here.
yeah, like the last slap in the face, you know,
To
is like,
Magan.
not only this, we're gonna get tattoos as well. Yeah, I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing,
I
man?
could not believe it.
Oh, yeah.
When Dayna said, she's like, well, you know, Megan and I said that we were going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, are you seriously getting a matching tattoo with this person?
Right, and that's the thing. And that's the thing. It was Dana's idea, right? So not only did she freaking do this with Mel, and it was her idea, she did it knowing damn well that she told that she told freaking Megan she's gonna do it to her.
Oh, man.
I was like, holy crap! Yeah, what an asshole. Dana's just a horrible human being at this point, man. I'm just like, damn.
Wow.
Yeah, and they do
Wow.
question like, is anyone going to be mad? She's like, oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I don't care. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure she can get mad, but whatever. And I was like, dude. I was like, man. I was like, Megan.
But yet
much
she's
better off without
surprised
you.
and she can't believe things like later on.
Oh yeah, freaking
That's the
ridiculous.
crazy
man.
part.
Yeah, and she's still lying about it all. So I'm just like, dude, that woman's horrible.
Yeah, so then they have the changeover. And this is kind of interesting too because like early on, Rita and Bridget are like getting into it, and the host shuts that down fairly quick.
Mm-hmm.
So because
She didn't want her dress to fall off having to break up a fight.
That's right.
because Bridget's essentially telling like I think Rita Rita's telling Bridget like you got some things to learn in this, and she's like you don't really know me like that.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And then the host's like wait, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, what are you doing? This is a light drama. There's going to be more drama as we know because you're just getting to the easy stuff right now.
But then the next fight breaks out, and she just sits back and lets it happen.
It's almost like she wanted to skip this one and
just to get to the big stuff. Yeah.
She's like, look, if security has to get involved in this, we're not going to get to the good stuff.
Right,
so,
exactly.
like, come on.
So you two just shut the hell up. Let's go over here.
Like we got bigger stuff to worry about here than this stuff. But Pilar and she blocked her girl,
Oh, that was crazy,
that-
man.
and they'd never exposed that at
Yeah.
any point. So I was like, wow.
Yeah, that was
and
very
Bridget
weird.
was like, well, I didn't know about that. Yeah, that
Blocked
was
Haley. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
very weird.
So and I guess if you're Haley, you're like, okay, I guess that's a green light for me at this point, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's these like subtle things. Like Megan took the whole "you're not going to say hi to me at the pool" as the green light. All right, I'm going to pursue this. And apparently Haley
took the block.
The block as a green light. All right, I'm going to pursue this. So technically, Megan and Haley were kind of pushed together by their green lights given to them by their partners.
Yeah.
Yep. And it worked out well, I thought, man. So
They thought so.
Yeah, the rest of this goes like you would think. Everyone's saying good things, what they learned, and then Megan decides to chime in at the end of like Dayna's spiel and stuff,
Yeah.
and then brings up stuff. She brings up the Spotify issue,
Oh,
which
dude,
is
the-
How did that even
the
happen?
sex playlist and all that crap. I was like, damn. And she's like, and you took our sex playlist and put it on your sex playlist with her.
And then
I was like,
Maria's
oh, man.
like, what?
I tell you, Marie is like on a roller coaster. She don't know
yeah.
what to believe,
my
and
yeah.
then when she
goodness.
starts getting pulled back in one way, a bomb drops.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly. Oh,
mean?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I mean, she is on a roller coaster. We feel bad for her in this one. And then
Yeah.
we see Mel over there like, yeah, the playlist, how'd that happen?
Damn, forgot about that.
Yeah. So I
But
mean,
Megan has been very calm, cool, and collected this whole time until this table.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see Megan has a little bit of a temper.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Megan. I mean, I thought she was pretty even killed during all this. I thought it was Dayna that was kind of going off, and people had
Oh,
to
Dayna
realize
did.
that.
Dayna definitely went
that's
off.
true. That's true.
Yeah, Dana definitely went off.
Yeah. So, but after this, the couples are getting back together. They're in the vehicle, and everyone's kind of like spilling some stuff. But this is where we learn. I mean, Haley's talking to Pilar, and Haley's like, "Yeah, I've done some stuff. We could talk about it later." I was like,
Haley's like, I'm not even going to beat around the bush.
it's
Let
kind
me
of
tell you.
interesting because like it seems like Dayna and Mel are the bad guys, but the other two have done everything as well, and they seem like
They
they're
said,
on
"I
a
love
different
you."
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said I love you. Yeah.
They've gone all the way. physically and emotionally.
Right, exactly.
So this
They've
is
done it
where
all.
I'm torn because the show's kind of making Megan and Haley look good and the other two look bad when in reality they're doing the same stuff. Is it different
but
or is it the same?
Here's the thing: it's different because they're not lying about it. They're not trying
They're not
to hide
lying
it. They're not
about it.
lying about it. They're being open and honest with their other partners about it. Saying, "Look, this happened. You know, we're falling in love with each other."
They
you know?
almost can't wait to
And-
tell some people.
Right.
Yes.
right.
That is-
You know,
well,
whereas
it's new love. You know, they're excited.
whereas you know with Mel and Dayna, it was they kept lying about it, and then Dayna was being wishy washy because
Yeah.
and it was just
And you can tell
big
that
difference.
bothered Mel a little bit because Mel was kind of.
Oh yeah.
It sounded
Yeah.
like it almost sounded like in those last 2 days of the trial marriage, Mel was wanting Dayna to say like, "Yeah, I'm gonna end it and be with you," and so that to give Mel the green light
Right.
to end it with Marie. To
Well, and they wrote those notes to each other
Yeah.
before they split and all that, right? So I mean, Dayna, like I said, Dayna just I don't like her at all at this point. I mean, it's just she's just not.
She's not a loyal person.
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
she wants to be wanted by
Yeah, that's-
everyone.
By everyone, exactly.
Yeah, 'cause
by
at one-
whoever's with her at the time.
At one
you know?
point, Mel and her are jiving so well. I was like, why couldn't Megan and her have like these moments? And
Yeah.
so I'm like, what's the issue there? But now I probably can see it.
yeah, right, exactly.
Well, maybe Megan and her have had those moments,
Yeah.
but
But yeah, Dayna, man.
So, and then Haley and Pilar are talking, and she's getting interrogated, but she's telling her kind of everything.
Yeah, she opens to her and then she's trying to hug her, and Pilar's like, "Don't touch me! Don't touch me!"
well, it's a very mature conversation that, like, you can tell these guys have been together for 10 years,
Yeah.
and it's a very mature conversation that they're having about it. And Haley, it's a hard conversation to have.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And Haley's not beating around the bush. She's not trying to sugarcoat it. Pilar's asking the hard question. Haley's giving the hard answer.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know?
and she's like, how many times? And she's like, is this going to help the conversation?
She's like, "What does it matter?"
She don't want to lie, but she's like, are you ready to hear how many
and then she's like, "It's not like I was counting, so obviously it must have been a lot, right?" So,
When she said it's not like it was counting, at that point in time, like, Pilar lost it.
Yeah, oh,
'Cause
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
well, that's like
That's-
probably more than 3, 4, 5. That's a
right,
lot.
exactly.
And here's what I wonder about Pilar and Marie. Would they've done just as much if the partner would have worked
I
out
feel like
better?
Pilar would have.
Maybe so.
What about Marie? Because she was like really into
Like-
AJ until that
I
moment.
don't know. I don't know about
But
Marie.
no, because of what AJ did that first couple of nights, when she kept going off of Britany, that just kind of screwed it
Yeah.
for Marie.
But if
but
that
he's saying
didn't
if
happen,
it didn't
if it didn't happen, maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
so that's
know.
like,
Maybe
can I
it didn't happen,
feel
maybe.
bad for these people that
Yeah.
may have tried
Yeah.
the same thing? It's just they didn't have
Or
the
like,
same
or
opportunity.
had Pilar and I hooked up with Kyle, and she'd hooked up with Bridget instead. Who knows, right? So I mean,
Yeah, I think Pilar was definitely open to having another relationship.
oh for sure,
So,
definitely, I think she was. I mean, she tried making out with Kyle,
Yeah.
right? So
And I think Kyle rejecting it and shutting it down actually is what helped her realize she wanted to stay with Haley.
Well, she's got to know the different kind of cakes that are out there, but maybe she knows now
That's
that
right.
she had the
Oh,
best
dude.
one. I don't know.
Yeah,
She
that
said-
conversation,
she
man. I
said-
was like, what the hell?
She said that was my biggest fear, was that I would come to the realization that you are the person and I want to be with you and it would be too late.
And you're falling in love with somebody else, and now here
we
you
are.
are falling in love with somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the tattoos get noticed.
Yeah, they do.
But here's the thing. It seems like Marie is on the path of forgiveness to Mel, and I don't like
Yeah.
this.
Oh, I know.
After and even when she's talking about you got tattoos, she's got a huge smile and is kind of laughing it off.
She says, "Oh, so she's going to be a part of our lives forever then."
Right.
Like she's accepted it. I guess this
Exactly.
is
Yeah, exactly.
this is she's
Well,
going
she
to be
does-
coming out with us all the time.
Now, what I do like, what Mel said, Mel's like, look, hold on, man. You're saying you're okay with all this stuff. I don't really think you are. I think you're just saying you're okay because, just to kind of get past this. And then she's like, no, that's not why I'm saying it. And she's like, well, okay. But I just.
that was about the family and the kids.
Yeah.
'cause
That's
she
right.
was like,
About that stuff. Yeah.
So she was trying. I think Mel's trying to push her away.
Yeah.
I think Mel's trying to
I think
give
so.
her the out and tell
Exactly.
have her choose to go out to leave.
I just can't believe after everything that girl has done to Marie, she's willing to forgive her. And AJ does one thing and creeps out, and then she's not
Right.
not getting past
no,
that.
Yeah, no kidding. That's
she
true.
doesn't have history with AJ.
Yeah, you got to have the food truck still going, I guess.
That's right.
She doesn't have a life with AJ.
Yeah, and that's true too.
Yeah.
But,
I mean,
Yeah,
I know
I
it's
mean-
tough and everything, but I was hoping she'd kind of like hold her accountable for all that.
exactly.
Well, and again, when it comes
Well-
to AJ and Marie, because of that whole conflict at the beginning and everything, there wasn't a whole lot that they taught each other that they took from that relationship.
Well, again, and one of the things too is Marie is still being freaking just dumb and buying her bullshit that no sex happened. You know, she's still behind her bullshit that it was just a kiss, even after the freaking sex, freaking music stuff came out and all that crap. She's still believing, like, oh, I don't think they did anything. And it's like, come on, man. It's like, open your eyes.
Megan's having this kind of she has a different take on the tattoo. She's not happy about it.
Well,
they
'cause
had
that was
plans to
their
get
thing.
it.
Well, Megan has absolutely every reason to be pissed off about it because of what, that was their plan to begin with, right? So,
That's really messed up.
Oh, it's totally, big time, man. At that point, if I was Megan, I'd be like, we're done. I'm like, we're freaking done. I ain't giving you no more chances. Get the hell out.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I bet you fucking are sorry. You're not sorry for shit. You're sorry because this is backfiring in your face.
And I think Megan
I think she says that.
Megan, I don't think could wait to be asked about how that relationship went because she's like, "You want to talk about it?" And she's like, "Yeah, I do."
Yep.
She's like,
Yep.
"I'm about to drop this on you."
Oh, yeah.
And she does. She's like, "Yep, we're in love. This, that,
Went
the
all
other,
way.
did this."
And now this
And
line.
she doesn't seem to feel bad about it
Yeah.
when Dayna goes ballistic and loses her shit. She's like, all right, well, I guess I'll go sit on the balcony while she has her little meltdown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, even though she's sitting there lying to her face, still trying to say that they didn't have sex, and it's like, get the hell out of here, nonsense, Dayna.
And Dana's like, "I thought I was the bad guy," and Megan's like,
you are.
You are.
You definitely are.
So she calls her mom and says, "Get here ASAP."
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous too,
Do you
man.
think your mom gets on the plane?
I bet she does.
Probably.
Because I bet this ain't the first time she's
Yeah,
called her mom, and
probably.
the spirit
She
spur of
needs
the moment had
somebody.
to have her mom show up. Yeah.
Man, do you think her mom gets on the plane? That's
does, I'm
crazy.
sure.
I
Well, where's she
I
coming
gotta
from?
know.
No.
Michigan?
Michigan.
It seems like to me that Dayna is just a spoiled brat. You know, I mean, that's just what I get out of Dayna. She's a spoiled brat who's codependent on everybody else and can't freaking just man up and be her own self and take responsibility for herself and her actions. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she's very inconsiderate and like, yeah. I mean, and I think Megan's too smart for that.
I thought when
Yeah.
she was on the phone, I thought she was going to call Mel.
That's
Yeah,
what
I
I
thought
thought
so
too at
I
first.
was surprised it was her mom.
And she's like, Mom, you got to come now. And I'm just like, what the hell?
I thought it was going to be Mel.
Yep. Oh, yeah, so did I.
That's probably who she should have called.
Call Lifeline. I don't know, but and then we bounce over to Rita and or not Rita, Ashley. Yeah, Rita and Ashley.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
Dude, there we
they're
go.
playing pool and talking some things, and
Yep.
they're back to where they were.
Here's the thing I have with Ashley and Rita. I don't want to make either one of them a villain or a bad guy. These people, they're
They're
not.
just not right for each other.
Not
They're not
compatible.
right for each other.
Yeah.
Exactly. No,
Ashley is never going to be what Rita needs.
no.
Rita flat out tells her, and she's like, "I do all this stuff, but you're not doing this, and I think you can work on it." And she's just like, "What?"
No, because that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, everybody's got different love languages, and like you might be doing stuff in a different love language, but that's not what I need. I need you to do this, and I'm telling you I need you to do this, and you don't ever do it.
Which
So,
Ashley didn't learn
Yeah.
anything
No, she
from.
didn't.
What not that Ashley could do it. I don't think Ashley could do it. It's just not part of her
it's not her.
personality.
I don't think she's
shouldn't-
getting it though.
Right.
And she shouldn't have to if it's not part of her personality. It's not something if it's not something she can bring to the table, then this is not the right relationship from her.
Yeah.
But she should have realized that in that trial marriage. That's what she should have taken
No,
from
absolutely.
this. And I think
Where
this
like,
moment is where she's realized.
where Marita and her trial marriage was great. They had a great time together. They were both just bouncing stuff off each other, and there was just a lot of positivity there. You know?
And hopefully Rita realizes it as well. Like, okay, well, looking at Ashley in this conversation, she's never going to be able to give that
But
to
the
her.
reason why Bridget and Ashley got along just fine because they weren't really romantically
Exactly.
Yeah.
into
Exactly.
each other. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, if you want a roommate, you can make it work. But if you want a romantic partner, then
Yeah.
maybe you can't.
Yeah. So, I mean, this experiment really did nothing.
It
for
was
that
kind of
couple,
funny
yeah.
hearing them talk because, like, Rita would be like, "You're telling me this," and she's like, "Why are you always spinning it?" But I'm like, she's kind of telling it how it is, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marita's saying, look, this is how I feel about things, and you're not acknowledging it. You're not giving me what I need in this relationship. I mean, she could have been more clear about it,
Yeah,
I think.
because it seems like Ashley feels like she's the one being wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then she's like, I guess Rita got her flowers, and then she's
Marita.
like, Marita got her flowers, and she's like, I don't even like getting flowers. Did you think that maybe I wanted flowers? Like, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because just like because in when it was her and Britany, right? I think Britany got her the flowers first, and then
Yeah.
the next day she came and got Britany flowers, right?
Yeah.
And just all matched up.
You're
So,
right.
I was like, that's cool, but
Yeah, this just kind of shows that maybe these two just aren't right for each other.
Yeah. They're neither one of them are
Unless
wrong.
they're
just not
willing to
together.
work on it.
yeah, and that's the thing.
They're
Ashley
not.
Ashley just does not seem like she's willing to do it. Period. She's like, look, I'm
I
just
think
not that
she's
way.
capable.
Yeah.
It's just not in her wheelhouse. It's just not who she is.
She could do it.
She could, right? You could
That's
take
the problem. She's not.
You can, right?
In order to
Buying
do
somebody
it,
flowers is easy.
in order to do it, you have to acknowledge a problem exists.
Exactly.
If she is not acknowledging
Boom.
a problem exists, then how could she
Exactly.
fix it?
She's
She's like, there's no problem here.
Exactly. For her, she's like, I do do other shit for you. So there's nothing wrong, right? I do things for you the way I want to do things for you, and there's nothing wrong with that. And Ashley, in Marita, of course, is like, well, yeah, because you're not doing the things I want you to do. You're just doing shit you want to do, and saying you're doing it for me, but that's not how love works, right? So,
Yeah. And then, I guess we could talk about AJ and Britany. They seem like they're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they seem like they're kind of, they talked it out and they're kind of back together.
I don't know what AJ brings to the table.
I don't either, but,
No.
but AJ was kind of like, I kind of liked having someone around the house making me food and do stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, that.
Yeah. And then, when
It's the Riz. That's all she
Yeah.
brings is the Riz,
But then she's
man.
like, but she's like, I know you got your job, which is your other baby. Your job's your other baby, and this and that. And I'm just like, dude, I'm like, why is Britany with her again?
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell, man?
I don't know what she brings to the
Because
table.
Britany's probably thinking now, like, I work. That's why I don't do it.
Right,
Remember
exactly.
when I did all those things? And she's like, yeah, I get it, but
She's like, yeah,
like,
I
but still,
miss
it just
that.
I do
nice.
like the omelets, though.
I
damn
like
it.
walking into a clean house and somebody cleaning up and cooking me and this and that. It's like, what the hell do you do? It's like, what do you do?
She
Like,
made
oh.
oxtail too for.
Oh yeah, made
Yeah.
oxtail. She's like, you made it in the oxtail.
Yeah, Marita.
Like,
That
oh,
was that.
oxtail is good, man. I had some a couple months ago, matter of fact.
Yeah, I think. I think Bridget, Britany is happy with her though, having her back though,
Yeah.
and I mean, especially after a bunch of people were vying for her, so she probably feels lucky.
Yeah.
It's the Riz, man.
Yeah, I think, at this point, seeing how well Britany and Marita connected, right? And granted, it was all on a friendship level, even though it was kind of intimate, it was like an intimate friendship almost, right?
Yeah.
It just shows you, like, that should have shown Britany, like, damn, there's other people out there like me who are willing to freaking meet in the middle and do cool shit for each other, And I was like, and then she goes back to AJ, and AJ's like, man, it was really great when you used to do all this shit. Just like,
And then Bridget and Kyle, are together, and the kiss thing is a problem, but they get past that.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty low drama there, and
Yeah.
it seems like they're probably going to stay
Yeah,
together.
and I do like how Kyle Kyle didn't try to put the blame on
No.
Pilar for it. She owned up to it and said, "Look, just kind of something happened in the moment there. I messed up. I'm sorry." So I do like how she took it.
I do
took
feel
ownership
like
of it.
she got too much blame on her for that. But
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, if one person doesn't kiss, another person does, you got to go through something with
Right.
it. I think.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
so I thought it was fine.
Yeah, and so I mean, do I think those two are gonna last? I don't know, man. I mean, the way they both talk about each other, and then the way they were with their other partners, it almost seems like, why are you two together? Kind of some of the conversations they were having. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's kind of weird with those two.
Their personalities don't seem like they go together, but they seem to have a mutual love and respect for
Right.
each other.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah, and it's just it's weird because I think they've been together for 4 years or something like that. How long have they been? Yeah, something. I think they've been together for like.
Well,
don't remember,
I
but-
thought they did a pretty good job on this trial with staying faithful, but trying to learn
Yeah,
something. Though.
no, definitely. No, they did. Well, and especially Kyle, at least on her end. I mean, no, it is Bridget. Yeah. Bridget kind of, like we said, not so much, right? Her and Ashley really didn't have much there. Didn't really learn much, but yeah, I think Kyle definitely learned.
So are you rooting for Megan and Haley?
Yeah, at this point I am.
But what
What about Pilar?
Yeah, what about Pilar?
Pilar
And
is-
her family's like, oh, we like Pilar, like she's part of the family. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this is tough. And at
Yeah.
one point they're talking to him like, well, we're all kind of gonna be a part of each other's life. I'm like, and her dad's kind of like, he didn't say anything, but I kind of get, he's like, that's naive. That ain't
Yeah,
how
that's
the
not how it
world works.
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah, you can tell by the look on his face, for
That's
sure.
actually that's ignorant. That's disrespectful to whoever you are
You're with.
with. You know what I mean? Like, come on,
Yeah.
live in the real
But-
world here.
I think at the end of the day that Megan and Haley would make a better couple than because again,
Yeah.
freaking what's her name? Dayna is just super selfish. Dayna is all about Dayna, and what's making Dayna feel good in the moment.
Megan and
So,
Haley are better for Megan. But what about Pilar?
I think Megan and Haley are better for Haley as well. Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, they have 10 years,
Yeah.
together.
Oh, I know.
That's a long time.
it is a long time, but I still think there's a breath of fresh air for Haley, and I think I think they'd be a better couple.
Well, they've only been together 3 weeks, so
Well,
I mean,
and that's true. That's true.
they haven't like
Had new big arguments.
yeah,
anything like
big
that.
arguments.
No,
They
no,
haven't
no.
like
Argued about anything.
experienced life.
That's true.
Together,
That is true.
they're in the honeymoon phase, so a lot could change as time goes on.
That's true.
So I don't know. It's a big decision.
Oh yeah, it is. And I guess we'll find out when it comes up in the next couple episodes.
But I think Mel and Marie probably stay together.
You think so?
I think Marie.
I think,
I hope
yeah.
not.
But I
I
bet
hope
if
not.
there's a reunion, they ain't together.
Maybe so. Yeah, I might agree with you
Hope
on that.
there's a
one.
reunion.
'Cause I think Marie's
I need
just kind of
Marie
caving.
to see the receipt.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Marie's gonna see that and flip.
Now, I don't know how you could be sitting next to someone on that couch when they play all those scenes. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, play the porno music in the background and you know.
The
Play
the
Megan's playlist or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it got spicy these couple episodes.
Yeah, it definitely did.
And I'm interested to see how some of this works out.
Yeah, like that reunion, man, I'm so looking forward to because with all the lying going on with those two right now and the receipts that we just saw, we know damn well what happened.
Yeah,
I'm like,
if
man.
Dayna and Magan are together, I would be shocked at this
Oh
point.
yeah, so would I. Anyway, guys, there you go. That was episodes 4 through 7. A lot of drama. You know, the show. You know, we said it last week that the queer loved ones seem to have more drama and just kind of better entertainment value. This one sure definitely doesn't disappoint in
A
that.
little bit of a slow burn.
Yeah, slow burn at first. Yeah, and then it just starts getting good.
Yeah.
But hey, guys, as always, we love chatting with you guys. Hit that like, subscribe, and we will check you on our next review.
But you know what the proof probably fucking was? That Spotify bullshit. A locked playlist, Mel? Really?